Hey guys, so Kanye once said one girl is worth 1,000 bitches. Now here's the thing: can we define? Okay, no. I'm gonna get into it later. But I feel like that's not true. I feel like it's not true whatsoever. 1,000 is way too high of a number. Let's talk about it. Okay, but before I get into it, self promo. I stream every day on Twitch, Bryce_Estelle, and I have a Lives account and a Discord. Join the Discord if you want to be like really involved. And yeah, those things are gonna be in the description below. Oh, also, someone made a video. They were compiling every moment where I said I thought I paused. If you're into that, so I might tag that too if I figure out how. Anyways, one good girl worth 1,000 bitches. I definitely don't think that's the equivalent. Okay, again, if we're implying that these are simultaneous B words that you're having. Now, look, I'm gonna say the B word a few times in this video. Just know I don't like saying it. Okay, I'm not a big B word sayer. However, I do feel like as much as I can, I have to stay a bit loyal to the lyrics that Kanye said exactly. And also, I want you to know this is not good girl slander. This is not saying anything bad about a good woman. It's just saying 1,000. 1,000, bro. That's so many B words, bro. And also, there's okay. So good girl means probably loyal, kind, respectful. We're just gonna assume they're all beautiful, right? Okay, but this woman has good qualities. She's probably ambitious. Probably got things going on for herself. It all makes sense. Now let's think about the B words. Okay, they probably have a bit of an attitude. Probably more difficult to deal with. People probably I don't know, probably scoundrels, in some form or fashion. But they're also attractive because otherwise, if we're talking about unattractive people, that is completely out of the question, right? If we're comparing attractive person to an unattractive person, like yes, I would rather have one attractive person than 1,000 unattractive people. Sorry about that sound. I almost dropped my water bottle over there. Allow me to get little on you real quick, okay? You got to understand, if we're saying one good girl is the equivalent to 1,000 B words, this means that 0.001 of a good girl is worth one B word. Okay, I don't think that makes much sense. Are you looking me in my eyes and telling me that you would trade? You have 500 B words on you at once, and you're gonna trade them for half of a good girl? Absolutely not. The math just simply doesn't add up. Okay, bro, I'm having this issue right now. Hold on, I'm gonna use AI to ask it a few questions about this. Bro, I'm having this issue right now where I feel like I'm gonna pass out, bro. I don't know what that's about. I'm genuinely so mad. Let me get littler on you. Ever since I made that video about hating water, mind you, in that video, I drank like 3 bottles of water, three entire bottles. Ever since that happened, I've been sick, bro. So now it's a bad look for me. Anyways, let me ask ChatGPT what is that. Now, mind you, this is not me using ChatGPT as a crutch. It's just I want to see the explanation. But people, I was coming, okay? Mathematically speaking, if we take the phrase one good girl's with 1,000 bitches literally and try to assign a numerical value, we're talking about a value comparison. Let's say one good girl X equals the value of one bitch Y. Then this statement implies X equals 1,000 Y. So yes, mathematically the statement is valid if and only if you can define a good girl as being 1,000 times more valuable than a bitch. And what I'm saying right here, this is why I did this. This equation is just ridiculous. There's no way X can actually equal 1,000 Y. Like, I want you to think how much 1,000 is, okay? Let me get big on you. Let me get big on you. Boom, boom. Yeah, bouncing on you. Yeah, so I just got big on you. 1,000, bro. If you had 1,000 B words, you could go on a date every day and not complete every day until, would it be like, what, the third year? Like, you can't look me in the eyes and tell me that that's not more valuable. And again, this isn't good girl slander, but I'm saying eventually it gets to a point where it's like, too many of these B words. If one was acting up, you could just go to another one. 1,000? That's such a high number. Okay, now let's think about the actual number worth trading. Value-wise, what are we looking at here? Again, okay, like you could cut this situation in half. Trading 500 of your B words for one good girl would make absolutely no sense. Again, if you can go on a date every day for a year and still not go through them all, that's not an even trade. Like, what does this one woman have that these B words don't? Now, mind you, this is not like a pro polyamory type argument. I'm just saying, mathematically speaking, okay, if you could have 1,000, now we're working with the term 500, number 500 B words. They're all on board. They're staying on board. Well, what we on here? People probably try to say stuff like, oh man, no, it's quality over quantity. No, you understand quantity over quality. Almost, when it's a number that vast is absolutely the way to go. Like, imagine I'm thinking annually, right? And this is a real thought I have, okay? So real life lessons right here. I remember I was posting on YouTube when I first started. I was posting once a week. How many weeks are there in a year? Okay, I'm gonna Google that off screen, okay? How many weeks in a year. I think like it's like 52 or 56 or something silly like that. Oh yeah, 52.1 weeks in a year. I remember I was posting weekly and I was like, yep, like that's fine, right? Like that's definitely the move. But I forgot what moment it was, but something dawned upon me and I was like, wait a minute. If I'm posting once a week, that's only 52 videos a year. And when I phrase it like that, it doesn't sound like that much, does it? So I was like, what if I go daily and do 365 videos a year? And now hearing that, bro, that doesn't sound like a lot either. It's like I could sit here giving people only 52 chances to see my content, resonate with it, and decide to continue watching. But now I'm giving myself 365 chances. Not to mention on TikTok, where I post 9 times a day, I'm giving people 3,285 chances, right? Which is so much better than the 1,095 that I was giving originally. Now, an argument would be made by a lot of people. It's like, okay, imagine YouTube videos like once a week. You know, I have time to edit them. Like I do like cool stuff with them. Like you'll hear like I don't know, like a sound effect. I don't know how people edit their YouTube videos. A sound effect in the background, maybe some imagery on screen, some official imagery. And it's like, okay, that could be smooth. But what happens when I do one of those and they flop anyway? I've seen people do that all the time. That's why I always recommend when people want to be creators to start from the bottom, okay? Start from like literally the bare minimum of what you could be doing. Like whether it's like TikTok, you know, just pick your phone up, right? Or YouTube, again, I'm recording into a camera, pausing when I'm like done with my speech, unpausing. Sometimes I even forget to pause. I'm like, hey, sorry guys, I forgot to pause. But like I've seen people where, you know, they get this whole setup, you know, they got editing, you know, they got like these things popping up on screen. They got these different sounds, they got these cuts, they got different camera angles, looking at this camera, looking at this camera, and they don't really have the follower base to consume that yet. And then it takes them a lot of time because they're doing everything themselves, you know, like again, like say for them, maybe not even one video a week, maybe one video every 2 weeks, but let's just say one video a week. And then it's like they're 8 videos in and they're not catching any steam. You know what I mean? Like, especially with something like YouTube, like they're like 8 videos in and they're like at like 37 subscribers or something. And then they're getting discouraged, but it's like, bro, you just started. You know what I mean? But then it's like that discouragement breeds into, oh my gosh, I can't do this because they're thinking about how much they spent on the cameras, how much they spent on the editing software, how much they spent on an editor if they send it to an editor, how much time they spent scripting content if they decide they want to script content, how much they spent on their microphone, okay, and they feel like complete failures. But it's like you put too much into it before you got anything out of it, right? Like I feel like the most you should put into shit is your time, to be real. And I don't even mean time behind the scenes. Like I've heard a lot of people, they're like, oh, like you gotta love the process. You know, like this one dude, he's like, oh man, I was working with like different like editing tricks. Like I was so into it. Like I was so into like the meticulous nature of it. You don't have to be on that kind of time. But I feel like a case in point example where that's not exactly necessary is me. Surprise, surprise. When I started doing YouTube videos, I was kind of just recording them on my phone and then I put them up. Then I decided, I was like, okay, now I want a microphone. Now I want to set up. Once I realized people were probably going to listen to what I had to say, or at least wanted to, and not in like a cocky way, but I mean, like there are people who are definitely interested. Like I think I had, how many followers? Like maybe like, I don't know, I had close to 1,000 at the time. So it's like I wasn't working with nothing. I could see the growth pattern, so it was worth it. And plus I was making a lot of money from TikTok. So I kind of was like, man, I gotta do something with this money. I gotta spend it on something. So that's why I got my PC, my webcams. I actually have 2, even though I can't even use the second one, and then this microphone, and then keyboard, mouse pad. And I got like a lot. I got a lot of stuff for this that I don't even use. And I did all that just for my Wi-Fi to not be moving fast enough at the time. I want to say I bought everything to make the Wi-Fi work. It did not. But that's just, you know, timing, I guess, because eventually it worked, and then, you know, here I am now. But my point is, again, I started YouTube all small. In Twitch, bro, I'm on Twitch right now, streaming. Nigga, I still don't know how Twitch works. I still, like, people are like, hey, bro, you should do this. You should get this in here. You should get this kind of bot in here. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. And yes, it could be as simple as looking it up, then making the change, but it's like, I'm not even doing that. You know, I'm just getting on there, streaming, talking my shit. And it's been like around a month, and now I have over 100 subs, over 1,000 followers, very good streams, at least from my perspective. There's a lot of people to interact with, and it's still growing, right? So I'm like, bro, imagine when I figure out what the fuck to do. Imagine when I figure out how that shit works. Like I feel like so many people are stuck, like when they want to do something, they're like, ah, it has to be perfect. Nah, bro. Let it be imperfect. Like my streams are so imperfect right now, but it's like, let me find out. Let me find out, bro. Like I remember when I played football, bro, there's this one dude, he came up and, you know, like we would do like one-on-one pass rush. I'm so sorry if you don't know anything about football, but one-on-one pass rush, he would win, but he didn't know any moves. Like he would just win. And then people are like, bro, imagine once he actually knows what he's doing, right? Because it's like, if you can succeed and find success not knowing what you're doing, once you know what you're doing, it's going to be a complete cheat code. You're going to be out of this world, right? I know that seems like I'm taking a departure, but like, you know what I mean? Like when people say quality over quantity, when it's such a vast difference, like in the lens of content, people are like, I have to make the shit like this. I need this cut to be perfect. Even releasing a song, bro, people are probably like, oh man, I need this note to be hit perfectly, da 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 da. Before you're at the point where stuff like that little minutia for it to really matter, like for it to be make or break. So it's like sometimes it is quantity over quality, truly, okay? But when it comes to the 1,000 B words versus one woman, or what was it? Yeah, no, one good girl. Think about it. Think about all the things you could do with 1,000 women. And I don't just mean in the bedroom, like I don't mean that nasty stuff. I mean like you could have your own army basically. They could do your bidding, bro. Like, see what I mean? Like 1,000's way too high of a number. Okay, 500's too high of a number. 250 is too high of a number. 100 is too high of a number, bro. Like when does it end? You know what I think? And this is off the top of my head. I think a fair trade. If you said one good girl for anywhere between 30 and 50 B words, I think that's a solid trade. Actually, make it 20 and 50. Okay, but this is still assuming that these B words are just B words. Okay, they're not that good. They're not that icy. But if they're actually like solid B words, like solid rock that like you just don't really see like that much with them. Like they don't really have like the sauce for real. Then I'd say I don't know, maybe like 10. 10, 7, somewhere around that range. But if we're talking about people you don't care about whatsoever, they're kind of annoying, they have bad personalities, there's sometimes you just don't want to talk to them for real, I think 25, 30 to 50, it's a solid trade amount. However, I don't know if that aligns because that would mean for 1,000 B words, you could get, okay, that works. For 1,000 B words, like 20. Like 20 good girls, good women. Okay, I really don't like saying the word girls. Like that might be, again, assuming they're the worst of the worst, that might be a solid trade. Let me think. Then 1,000 B words for 100 good girls, or 100. Yeah, gosh, stop. I hate the word girl, bro. It's too youthful of a term. Like every once in a while I use it, I'm like, oh yeah, I was talking to this one girl, da 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 da. But like in this instance, I'm like, like for women, like it's more mature, like man, these are women. Like I feel like when I say girl, I feel like I'm being disrespectful sometimes. Like again, like sometimes like in certain contexts, you're like, hey man, like this girl, blah 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 blah. Because I feel like people don't really, because you know what it is, bro. When women say boy, I know I don't like that at all. When women are, I remember this one girl, but she was like grown woman. She was like, yeah, I don't really talk about boys that much. I'm like, bro, you're a fucking adult. What do you mean boys? Now the thing is, girl is much more normalized in everyday talk everyday talk than boys. But she's like, what do you mean, bro? Like, how are you going to be like in your late 20s talking about boys? Oh, I got boy troubles. No, you fucking don't. You got man troubles. And when they try to do that thing where it's like, oh, they're not men, they're boys. I don't fucking care. I don't care how you view them. Call them B words, bro. Call them bitches at that point. If you want to say that, and obviously not as a degrading term towards women, just as a reference for a cowardly human, like that way. But yeah, bro, it's like the way when I hear someone say, even when it's not derogatory, just like if you're meeting a boy, and you're like in your 20s, like what do you mean? You're meeting a grown man. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about that stuff, And the thing is, there's some guys definitely, I feel like they can't pull off the term girl. Like there's some dudes, I'm like, you're too old, bro. Like, if you're in your 30s and you're still talking about girls, shit. Say women, bro. I feel like young lady is even a solid one because it does the juxtaposition. Because lady, you feel like is older, but young lady. Right. Like I like that. Someone told me they didn't like that before. I remember this girl I used to. Nah, we never talked. It was just a weird thing. She was like, "Young lady's so weird because how young are these ladies?" And it's like, bro, what? And here she was trying to get me to say girls. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like people just play too much, bro. Like I'll never forget when I was with that one girl, bro. No, I can't tell you which because it's too descriptive. But basically, this girl, right? She was very short. She was so short, and like I told people her height, and they were like, "Oh, like that's weird, bro. Like that's so childlike, da 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 da." But mind you, this woman, like almost not a decade over, but very much older than me, tatted from head to toe. Like it was very clear she was older. So then when I showed a pic, they were like, "Oh, okay, she's clearly older." It's like, yeah, bro. Like you can't always. People just want to jump to conclusions. So like people want to be able to pop their shit so fast. They just want to say, "Oh, I'm gonna say this. Oh, I'm gonna say this. Oh, I want to make this implication. I want to make this implication," without even knowing all the information. Like people really just pop their shit without thinking. Like she was seriously complaining about young lady, and I'm like, bro, I could have used it. I could have said females. I could have said the B word. I could have said hoes, referring to women. I could have said any of those things. And you're gonna confront me about a young lady? And it's like, especially when someone you know, bro. Like, I feel like you should, like, especially when I was talking about like that short woman who was like tatted, and they're like, what? Like, you don't think that's childlike? Da 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 da. No. Like, trust me as a human being at this point. And like when I showed the pic, they're like, oh, she looks so old, and I'm like, okay, bro. Dude, they were trashing me, bro. They did not think she looked good. That was one of my darker days. But yeah, anyways, moral of the story, bro. People be looking for their excuse just to pop shit. Also, moral of the story: one good girl, not worth 1,000 bitches, not at all. And oh my gosh, bro, it's a state of affairs, man. Again, like I said, I've been sick for some reason in some way ever since that water video. I've been drinking water. I promise, bro. Like, literally, you see it. This is a new water bottle because I finished the last one, but I don't know what's up with it. But oh yeah. So I don't know how, dude. I swear to God, I slept last night. But then I slept again, and I woke up at like 8 p.m. 8:22 to be exact. I was so mad, bro. But anyways, I'm pushing this video out. I think I have a much more. I'm not gonna say it. But I think I have an exciting video relatively soon. I'm not gonna say what it is. At the end of the day, it is just me yapping, but I feel like it's an interesting topic. But I did want to make this video today anyway. Like, this was not just like a throwaway video concept, but I knew it was something I could do in this short period of time. So sorry for late. I don't know what to do, bro. Sorry for the lateness. And now my sleep schedule is gonna be all off. I'm gonna stream today, and I'm probably gonna have to record after the stream. It's some shit, bro. I'll figure it out. And eventually, I want to get to the point, bro. I mean, I don't want to get to the point. Soon, I want to do another like big state of affairs, bro. Because like just talking about like not there's anything you really don't know, but again, I'm just thinking about the move, other stuff. Like, I just want to be able to sit here and yap about it for a bit. But anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, everything I have to say. I'm so sorry, and I love you. Have a great day, night, evening, morning.